Hello and welcome to GEOSCOPE on Politics Social with me, Graham Hughes, and I'm joined, as nearly always, by delectable Ollie Bowler Hatman. How you doing, Ollie Bowler Hatman?
I'm all right. Delectable as always.
Delectable. It's a great word, that, isn't it? And I don't know what we're going to talk about today, mate. There's not much going on in the world.
Yeah, no, nothing. Absolutely nothing going on.
It's been really quiet. Should we promote Mike's book? You should buy Mike's book, The Trumpton Project. If you're not already bought this.
Linking the doobly-doos,
yes,
as they say.
We could talk about Brooklyn Beckham, I suppose.
Should we? So with that, yeah, we could talk about That's pretty much it. I mean, you know.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you later.
Yeah,
see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Oh,
probably more. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Because I have been convinced by some of the stuff today in Davos, because obviously Davos is happening at the moment. Part of me like seriously thinks he's not going to do it, because you had Scott Bessent come out, who is the Treasury Secretary, and just said, "Yeah, just hold on a minute, guys. This isn't going to happen." I am getting more and more convinced this is just a stunt. Quite frankly, that he's just doing, that he's saying.
Yeah.
And I am slowly becoming convinced he's not going to do it. That this is going to be another taco moment.
Trump always chickens out.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Before we get into that, big shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Pete's music in there. We got the Davinator. We got Sarah Davis. We got Liam Fairhurst. Diz is in the chat as well, which is wonderful. We also got Saz. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for 1 minute. There's a 1 minute cool off period in which you can change your mind and unsubscribe and go and find someone else to do with your Tuesday evening. But if you decide to stay here with us on Politics Social, you can join in with the conversation. Please don't be shy. And also don't be a bigot. Don't say horrible things. Okay, well, you can say horrible things about Trump. We don't give a fuck about him because he's a gobshite. So, Trump has doubled down on his Greenland shite, saying there's no going back. It was so his little man, was it Marco Rubio? Was it who went to Parliament today to speak on Trump's behalf to some, in one of the little rooms.
Yes, Lindsay Hoyle was there with him.
Yeah, trying to diffuse the situation a little. Yeah.
I believe the message was apparently, we can sit down and work out our differences.
Yeah.
And I think this is I think that this is something that they noticed, because obviously at the end of last year everything was all, Epstein. Then all of a sudden we've now got, I'm now going to take Greenland. And I think there are, like, at least the impression that I'm getting certainly seems to be the fact that the Republicans were like, we'll entertain that, for the moment, because, it's distracting everyone from, talking about Epstein. Because, like I say, since all this, have we seen any talk or any news articles on, the Epstein files or anything like that whatsoever? I haven't seen anything come out about any of this stuff at all.
It was Mike Johnson. Sorry, it wasn't Marco Rubio.
Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson is the speaker. He's the head of the. He's the head of the lower house, isn't he? The House of Representatives. Sorry, I was thinking it wasn't Marco Rubio.
Yeah, who also might not be longer for his job either, given the potential MAGA civil war that is potentially brewing again. So that could be fun. Maybe later in the year we might have another government shutdown. So fun.
Well, we won't. They will.
No, they will. So fun for them. Stuff for us to talk about. But
So
it's one of those moments where I honestly think this has become. He's sort of realized the more he talks about it, the less people want to talk about the Epstein files. And I now think that a lot of people are now starting to go, yeah, you've pushed this as far as you can go, without actually taking action on it. So we'll see. I think there is going to be an almighty climb down of some sort happen.
you reckon?
Possibly. I do. I think this is. Um, I really think this is Trump
Mm.
desperately trying to like get something else for people to talk about other than the Epstein stuff, and that's sort of what has happened, really, in a way. On this front, I think this is honestly just a big smokescreen. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts talking about, annexing Canada to change
Well, no,
the
but he
subject
has
again.
he has talked about that because he projected he posted a picture and it was a photoshopped picture or AI picture, and it was him and his twats around the twat table, and they had a map on the screen, and it was originally in the original photo it was a map of Ukraine, and they doctored it so it was a map of the Americas, and it had America as like a US flag, and then it had Canada, that was also a US flag, and Greenland was a US flag, and Venezuela was a US flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Ballum, £2 super chat, wanting to know will we make US POWs eat Marmite? God damn, yeah, we will. No, fucking love it.
Only those who like the Marmite will be released.
And we'll make them really bad cups of tea. You know, where you don't even put the tea bag in, you just kind of show it to the hot water.
Yeah,
And
just
like loads of
just
milk.
it's shown milk.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like
not
like
even
white.
not even poured in.
It's like white. It's like pure white. There's no tea in it. It's just the weakest tea, and it's lukewarm.
Oh,
Fuck them, mate. No biscuits. No biscuits for you, motherfuckers. Yeah, yeah. That's a kind of punishment.
Oh no,
like,
even better. The biscuits are just put in the tea. That's
what?
it. There's the biscuit is just
It's
dunked
dissolved
right in the
it's
tea. Just
into the
just
tea.
right in the tea.
So it's all like bits floating around at the top, and then there's a little sludge at the bottom from the the remains of the biscuit. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's the sort of thing that I could see Keir Starmer doing. Bring out the weak tea.
Yeah.
Are you sure, sir? You want to bring out the weak tea? Yeah. Fuck him. Fuck him. Bring out the slightly uncomfortable chair. No, not the slightly uncomfortable chair. Oh.
The pillow of comfiness. Slightly lumped in.
Downer Shed says they're not having my Marmite, which is fair enough. They're not having my Marmite either. My Marmite's got Elton John on it. Limited edition Elton John Marmite. I didn't know Elton John can make Marmite, but bees can make honey. Elton John can make Marmite. Who knew? Give them biscuits, but just the US version that aren't really biscuits. Yeah, like disappointing scones. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, Davinator, you evil person. He said, no, it's been microwaved. Microwave that tea.
Oh, yeah, microwave the tea.
So we get some bubbles. The horrible bubbles on top that they get when you boil water in a microwave and it gets that foam on top.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they'll get.
So you gotta go wipe this foam off, and then you got this like white cup of. Anyway, okay, so we can stop our revenge fantasies for a moment, and I know you're saying that this could be a taco again, but the stock markets did fucking drop by a mile this morning when they opened. They weren't open yesterday for some reason, aren't they? But yeah, they did drop like a stone. I think it was something like 750 billion was wiped off this morning in the first few minutes after the opening bell. And someone was like, that's how much it'll cost to invade Greenland. So you lost you spent the money.
This is it. I think there is going to be an almighty pushback against this. First of all, certainly from like the US, because I think there's only like 8%. Apparently there was an opinion poll that came out like only 8% of Americans like want him to take military action to take this. So this is going to be a very, very unpopular move.
Yeah.
If he does decide to go ahead with this, he's basically going to have absolutely no support at all to do this. The Democrats will be against it, but how effective they will be is anyone's guess. The Republicans, I think a lot of them are still like old school, at least the old school Cold War Republicans at least recognize, because most of those have been the most vocal since the start of all this, going around and saying, no, like this is just absolutely ridiculous. Why are we risking our like NATO, all our allies over this? And I can't remember. There was I think there's an American Republican senator. I can't remember who it was named now. It escapes me, but he said, "No, America is strong because of its ally, the allies it has, and the alliances that it's made, and
Yeah.
those diplomatic connections that it has. That's part of the reason, why America is so strong with those links to Europe.
Right.
Because if there is this, and there is this." This trade war, and Keir Starmer is right. No one wins in a trade war. Trump has pretty much proved that. From last year, we've seen that no one wins in a trade war. If we were to do like deep sanctions on the US, it would really significantly hurt the UK economy. Probably not as much as elsewhere because we are more of a service-based economy rather than
Yes.
like
But
import-export economy.
that's something
So,
though, isn't it? Like I'm kind of feeling now. Okay, right. All things being equal, no one wants a trade war. But don't you think that we're more likely to avoid a trade war if Starmer speaks from a point of strength rather than a point of kind of
well, he
capitulation?
did sign on to the because again, a lot of people I think have missed this because he did sign on to the European response to this with like Macron
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everyone else to that.
We've sent one soldier to Greenland.
Yes, which all you need. All you need is a tripwire force. That is it. The fact that there are soldiers there from another country, that is it. And I think you're basically going, try it. you know, um, that is all you need to do as a response to this. It's all it really sort of needs to be.
Yeah.
And I also think there's a lot of people who really want there to be like this strong like reaction, but that's never how like we've like done and conducted politics in the UK. We've always
Yes, we
been
have. Come on, Boris
very, very
Johnson.
like
The
tended to be like level headed. We
Boris
sort of seem
Johnson.
to take our time about it. Well,
Boris Johnson. Come on.
again, he was, but that was Boris Johnson, and even then there were the diplomats around him were
Yeah.
like oh yeah, just we'll just leave Boris over there in the corner singing his songs. We'll go and have a talk and a chat. So even the damage that Boris Johnson did when he was foreign office minister was was manageable on that front. But
Well, before we go on, we've got a super chat came in from Wheels of Darren saying Memorial Day yesterday, US Bank holiday. Thank you, Dan, but I don't think you're right. I think Memorial Day is some others. It's Martin Luther King's birthday, isn't it? That was what it was yesterday, and I don't think that the White House put out a message after until like after 8 o'clock at night. They finally put out a message going,
yeah,
"Oh, happy birthday." Do you know what I mean? It was a bit like that's a bit late.
a bit last
Oh,
minute.
Wheels of Davins deleted his message. Oh, I didn't mean you got to delete your message, mate. Thank you very much for the super chat. Does that mean that your super chat got taken back? I don't know. I don't know what happens now. I've not had the super chat disappear before. And then Tim Ballum, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, mate. That's very kind of you. What do you think of US perdify?
Yeah, perdify.
Per,
So this is the technical term that
perfidy.
this
Perfidy.
is this is this is where you go to your thesaurus of war crimes. you know. So this is sort of refers to where you have a um
Oh, this was
a
about the
military
plane.
plane.
The plane was painted
Yeah.
so it looked like
So
a
yeah,
civilian
it's a
plane.
military plane, so it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
look like a military plane. So it looks
Right.
like it's a civilian plane.
God, you
So
learn
that
new
is, of
words all the
course,
time, don't
a
you?
war crime. So yeah,
It's like when we
uh,
all learned that you could prorogue parliaments. Up to that
yeah,
moment, no one had ever heard the word prorogue parliament.
yeah. So this is, like I say, this is, they should have gone to like which war crime shall we commit today? Let's open the dictionary of stuff. We're like, oh, perfidy. Never heard this one before. So yeah, this is one of those odd ones.
It's a combatant feigning civilian status, so the adversary doesn't suspect.
So we'll see, but this is probably something that Hegseth might get done for more than Trump.
After Trump's big beautiful day.
Yeah, Trump will. We'll have to see whether Trump gives him a pardon or not. But there is a chance that after the midterms, the Democrats could come after him for this and possibly even eject him
out of a plane.
Well,
30,000 feet. That'd
hopefully.
Be great.
But yeah, there is a chance that the Democrats could get rid of Hegseth if they go for him after this, with if they do gain control after the midterms.
Good time will be had by all. Midterms. Oh, you sweet summer child. Anyway, blah blah CW, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. I wish Trump would either shit or get off the pot. War or peace, either is better than this limbo we're currently stuck in, which just sucks. Heil. Well, I've got to say, blah blah CW, thank you very much for the super chat, but I do have to disagree with you on that one. I'd rather be in limbo than in a state of war. Like, just given those two choices, limbo every time, please. I'd rather have peace. I'd rather have a just and lasting peace. But,
I have to say, I think it's one of the worst things of like diplomacy where we have seen the I can't remember her name now, from Venezuela. She actually gave her Peace Prize to Trump in some sort of like attempt to try and woo,
yeah,
to woo Trump, and I'm like, that just looks really weird. It's almost like, FIFA when they handed out, here's this Peace Prize, and now what has he done? He's done Venezuela, and he's making threats against Greenland. So
yeah, because he didn't get because Norway didn't get the Peace Prize.
Yeah, which they've had to explain to him multiple times apparently.
Yeah, but they explained to him.
I would love to be like the fly on the wall in one of these meetings where they're trying to explain to him.
But what they
we're
need
not
to
in
do
charge of that.
Is they need to speak to him in his language, because he doesn't understand what they're saying. Not just because they're speaking Norwegian, but they're so calm and collective. They need to be like the governor of California, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah,
he was fucking all guns blazing today at Davos. He was like, if you watch the clip, he's like, why is everyone kowtowing down to this Trump dickhead? You need to tell him to fuck off. And, the Norwegians were just like, hey, dickhead, hey, listen. I know this is hard to get through your fucking thick orange jelly brain, but we've got nothing to do with that fucking award that you wanted so much. Tell you what, mate, if you want to win the award, why don't you, pursue peace around the world instead of starting fucking conflicts? How about that, you fucking dickhead? And you know what, though? He'd respect that. It's what they don't understand about Trump. That someone said that when you're dealing with Trump, you don't need advisors. You don't need diplomats. You need psychologists. You need to be advised by psychologists, because the man is a fucking narcissist.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they are, if every, prime minister, etc., now pretty much has a psychologist of some sort on the payroll to try and examine Trump and be like the Trump whisperer. I would not surprise me in the least if we found out that was going on in the background.
Yeah. So apparently, according to Diz, someone else got a second-hand Peace Prize. Joseph Goebbels of Nazi fame. A Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, can never be revoked, and it cannot be transferred. The decision is final and applies for all time. So Knut, literally his name is Knut, which is so close. So close. Knut Hamsun, He won the Literature Prize in 1920, and is a Norwegian author. He travelled to Germany and met with Joseph Goebbels in 1943. After returning to Norway, he sent his Nobel medal to Goebbels as a gesture of thanks for the meeting. Goebbels was honoured by the gift. The presence and whereabouts of the medal are unknown.
Yeah,
probably 6 feet fucking under. But there you
the
go.
other thing that's happening is, I don't know if you've seen this, the FIFA, or at least a lot of, shall we say, other football people are potentially going to pull out of the World Cup. Apparently,
really,
they are. Well, not FIFA, but like there's talks that now national teams might pull out of this World Cup if he does go and take Greenland.
Oh yeah,
which could be interesting if that happens, because that will be a massive blow.
There have been calls. MPs in this country have called for a boycott. I think they should have a boycott anyway, because there's treatment of people coming from other countries.
Yeah, that's it. I think they are very, very worried about this World Cup.
Yeah,
this is one of those things where you want to see what their contingency plan is on this, because FIFA spends a lot of money on these, on these tournaments, and there is a lot of stuff to be believed that you have a bad one, and it will like cascade down. You might get FIFA in some very bad financial troubles, which could be also quite fun to watch if that comes to pass as well. So that would be fun, that happening to FIFA.
It would be,
but we'll see. Although I think honestly they would have enough. They would have, I think, enough maybe support people around the world to like give them a bailout. Probably
there's 48 teams playing, so if 8 of them don't play, then oh well. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, more chance for us to win.
What if we don't boycott it? Well, I mean,
well, yeah, exactly.
The 1980 Olympics was boycotted by America, and then the 1984 Olympics because of the invasion of Afghanistan, and then 1984 Olympics was boycotted by the Eastern Bloc. Yeah, I don't know. And FIFA's such a moral organization.
Yeah,
yeah. It would be nice to knock the wind out of Trump. But let's be honest. If he does invade Greenland, I don't think there is going to be a World Cup. There's going to be a World War.
Yeah, I don't.
There's not going to be a fucking World Cup.
There won't be. Yeah.
Tim Ballum, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, my friend. Sudocrem and maybe some talk to deal with Trump. Thanks for that, Tim. Yeah, but yeah, the response to this has been by the British politicians has been fucking mind blowing. Well, it's not been. You would expect when being faced with a foreign adversary who is clearly got his designs on going up against us, right? And what does Kemi Badenoch do? What does Nigel Farage do? They start bringing up the fucking Chagos Islands.
Yeah,
like this is some kind of big get out. Oh, what are the Chagos Islands? Hey, we gave them up without a fight. Right. To be very clear, the process for giving the Chagos Islands back to Mauritius was started by the fucking Conservatives, not by Labour. James Cleverly fucking started it. And Marco Rubio in America last May commended it and said, oh, this is great. Yep. This is awesome. He changed his tune now.
Yep.
But what does Farage do? What's his fucking first instinct, eh? What is that fucking disgusting, shriveled scrotum, fucked up, prolapsed, anus-faced cunt? What is his first knee-jerk reaction to us being threatened by America to come in on the side of America? I go, well, it's our own fault because we gave away Diego Garcia, which we haven't. It's still our base. We still got it for another 100 fucking years. Oh, mate. I fucking hate him. I fucking hate that man. Him and Trump. Put him in a big rocket. Him, Trump, and fucking Elon Musk. Put him in a big rocket. Fire them into the fucking sun. We could have a little webcam in there so we can watch them melt. Twats.
Oh, this is the other thing that have you heard about? Have you heard about I don't know if you'll discuss this yesterday.
I love the way I'm like this, and Ollie's like, and another thing.
Yeah, because
the level-headed friend I never had.
Yeah, and well, that's it. I honestly think when you look at at this. I think we should be approaching this with like complete level head, because Trump has absolutely, tacoed out before. And I very much am of the belief that unless you actually see an American like boot land on Greenland, I am not convinced that this is gonna go down. I think this is just a massive ploy by Trump to try and distract people away from the whole Epstein stuff. I am very, very much of that opinion. I think this is just sound and bluster to distract people. But I think we should approach this with, typical, British diplomacy, stiff upper lip, keep calm, and this will all blow over by lunchtime, and we'll be all having a pint down the Winchester, soon after. So I am very, very optimistic. This is not going to happen. If it does happen, I got that wrong 100%. But
you'll have to wear the hat. I've got a hat that says I was wrong and I accept responsibility. You'll have to wear the hat.
I know. I'll wear the hat. I will wear the hat
for the 6 minutes of World War III.
I am
6 minutes of shame.
I'm very much convinced this is just stuff and bluster, especially after hearing like some of the stuff from like the other like American delegations at Davos, basically just saying no, this is not going to happen. This is all just like ridiculous. Don't believe this. Yeah. I think they are obviously worried about there being sanctions, because one of the things America wants to at least try and do at some point will be to confront China. If it wants to confront China, then it will need Europe in its corner to continue like some form of like normal economic practice in some way, shape or form. So if we are not there, if we decide no, we're not in your corner, we're not going to get involved in this, that will negatively affect America's chance to confront China on that. If China does decide to go to Taiwan, remember we are closing in on 2028. 2028 we often hear cited as like the final year that China can go for Taiwan. It's the most optimal year to go for it. That after that is it. It just falls off.
What? Explain that. You need to explain.
So it's to do with China's population.
Don't just give me a year and then just go. Can't do it after.
Yeah. So it's all to do with China's sort of population. So they have obviously gone very, very hard into the whole one child, policy in China. Obviously, having a male child was seen as like the thing to have. So that you've got a very big population.
A lot of female abortion fetuses were aborted.
Yep. So you've got a massive population like imbalance, and from that point on, that population imbalance of like 2028 becomes a big problem for China. So that will start to affect them from that point. So after like 2028, that is like the point where it will be probably the most successful, and then after that, it's going to start going down.
Okay. Well, fair enough, but like I'm not quite with you on the whole Greenland thing. I think he might do it because he's fucking insane. See, what you're doing is you're using your bloody rationality. You just stop being so agreeable and rational. Because Trump's not. He's a fucking nutter.
Well, don't you understand, Graham? If Trump gets his board of peace, if you talk about this yesterday with Scott.
The board of peace.
Board of peace.
So you got to pay. Hang on, before we get onto the board of peace that Trump has got, Tim Ballum has just joined our board of peace by bribing me with £5.
Welcome to the board of peace.
So welcome, Tim, to the board of peace. I'll be giving £4 of the £5 to Qatar for some reason. I don't know. Trump is activating all his Arctic trained troops, moving them so they can bypass Canadian airspace to attack Greenland. There you go. See, told you he was doing it. He's mad. He's fucking mad. He's batshit insane. But yeah, so yeah, the board of peace. So who's on this board of peace, Ollie, that they have to pay £1 billion to get onto? $1 billion.
So far we know Donald Trump is chairman.
Yeah, and for life.
For life.
For life. Even when he's not president, he's still got to be president of the board of peace.
And they want this to be the replacement for the UN.
Yes.
So
So he's going to be world president.
And to get
Even though
onto
nobody
this
wants
board
that.
of peace,
Yeah.
you've got to pay $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yep.
$1 billion. Yeah.
Why you've got to pay $1 billion, we don't know. Tony Blair apparently has been invited to be on this board of peace. Whether he's accepted or not, I don't know. I have a very strange feeling he's going to be washing his hair.
Yeah.
on that one, because I don't know about anyone else. I would not want to be anywhere near this.
And
this
Trump got
board of
really
peace.
upset, didn't he? He was like, "Why don't you want to be on my board of peace?" And they're like,
Yeah.
Macron's like, "I don't know, fucking board of peace, you big weirdo." Hey, did you see Macron at the Davos today with his sunglasses on?
Oh yes, looking all very, very cool.
Do you reckon someone's punched him? Do you reckon he's got a black eye? Do you reckon that's why he's got his fucking shades on? He wears his sunglasses at night. He did look very cool.
Well,
look very Matrix.
He is having quite a Barney at the moment with which I think this is something I've noticed. You're seeing this a bit more and more happen, especially across Europe and here in the UK as well. You're seeing a lot more talk about regions and like towns starting to demand more funding from local government.
Yeah,
because I know this is currently we are having, of course, this problem as we go sort of through the UK in the moment as well. I know France, big protests in Paris by mayors apparently doing this as well. Germany is also apparently going through this as well.
Yeah.
So this could be quite interesting at the moment if this decides to, interesting, familiar tone going through maybe Europe at the moment on this one. So that would be interesting to see how that plays out.
We've got a great line here from Band of Hardjaps who says "Board of Peace?" ? As in bored, as in I'm tired of this.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, because he didn't get that Nobel Peace Prize.
How dare I not get the Nobel Peace Prize? How dare I? One Angry Pagan put an interesting comment in a little bit earlier, shifting gear a little bit, because I think everyone's sort of very fair of what's happening at the moment. There's a big meeting, economic forum that's happening at Davos in Switzerland. So they've got these leaders from around the world coming and giving talks and speaking. Mark Carney today was fucking brilliant. Mark Carney's speech was just absolutely 10 out of 10, no notes. He was just brilliant. Trump is going to speak there tomorrow. But the UAE, let's talk about this. The UAE is getting its arse kicked. So for a long time, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, next door neighbors, next door Arabias, next door. That doesn't quite work, does it? Anyway, they've sort of worked together. The two countries that are both Sunni Islam rather than Shiite Muslim, and they've gone their separate ways in the last few years. And Saudi is now in various proxy wars with the UAE, most notably in Sudan and Yemen. And this is a bit like, what's going on? Why is mummy and daddy fighting again? Which could be interesting for the future of the Middle East, especially with the Hezbollah being taken out, Hamas being on their knees, Iran, people getting up on the streets.
It does sound like there is a power play really going on at the moment. So who gets maybe sort of more control of the Middle East, I think, in the moment, who becomes like the regional player, because it has been for a very, very long time, very much to be considered. Iraq at one point was considered to be quite the power player at one point, like back in the 80s. Then that switched very much to like, the Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, you see it now switching again. I think it has a lot to do with the fall of Iran and anything that's going on there with Iran at the moment. Protest, of course, still going on in Iran. Still no signs of slowing at the moment, but we'll see how that continues, or whether they can, or whether there is like a serious crackdown. But of course, I think they're also very worried about Trump as well.
Yeah.
If Trump decides to sort of get involved on that one. Well, it hasn't so far.
Iran, he said he was going to get involved. He said, "Don't worry, everyone in Iran, I'll come save you." And it turns out that 17,000 people were shot dead in the streets.
Yep.
Thanks, and he didn't do fuck. He'll take the credit. I'm sure he'll take the credit. Hey, listen, Graham Price has just said, if you'd heard what I've just heard live from Trump on LBC, you'll know his speech tomorrow is probably going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely batshit. He's absolutely melting down, and he won't be happy tomorrow. Well, he was now late getting there. So he's supposed to be there at 6 o'clock tonight. No, 6 o'clock our time. So it would have been what? 2 o'clock, something like that, his time. Yeah, he didn't turn up till for an hour late. He was an hour late, turn up early. And he started going on about Minnesota and how ICE has been doing a great job and how all these people deserve to die or something. And he's been whining about not receiving enough credit for the inflation levels, because it's at 2.7% and it should be at 2%. And he's gone on about NATO. He said no one's done more for NATO than me. This is just in the last few minutes. I mean, he's been he went off on one about the Nobel Prize that earlier today, or was it yesterday? I can't remember now. He said, I don't care about that Nobel Prize. And about that Nobel Prize that I didn't get, that I totally should have got. I totally should have got that Nobel Prize. Someone said that if you did get Greenland, they'd be like, if Denmark said, okay, you can have Greenland, they go, I don't want it now.
Yeah, I want it back.
I don't want it now.
Yeah. Guess who is also apparently on the US Board of Peace? Just speaking of them, the UAE.
Oh, really? So it's the UAE. It's Russia under Putin. It's Lukashenko of Belarus. Yeah, they are bored of peace. That's fair enough. Yes, I can see they are very bored of peace. Sauron got nothing on Morgoth. Says one angry pagan. I hope you get the reference. Did you get the reference there?
Yep, good one.
Lord of the Rings.
That one, I was saying.
Got there in the end. Or Melkor, because obviously Morgoth before he was Morgoth, he was known as Melkor. Although lots of people in Lord of the Rings have two names. Sauron had a different name when he first came to Earth. Or Middle Earth, whatever. The West. He was called Eowyn or something? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. It was in the First Age.
Get crack out the Silmarillion quickly.
Crack out the Silmarillion. What was Sauron? That's a great... Joe, we should do like a really nerdy Lord of the Rings quiz. Where it's like, what is the name of the giant spider who went with Melkor to drink to poison the two trees of Valinor? Ungoliant. Someone's going to tell me.
Yeah, what was the first king of Rohan's name?
Yeah, because Sauron wasn't always evil. When he first came to Earth, he was a goodie. He was an angel, kind of. He was one of the Aenor, wasn't he?
And corrupted by Sauron.
I'm not sure they were called the Aenor. That sounds a bit wrong. So yeah, Indie Duck Mel said, wouldn't be surprised if the orange twat threw a tantrum in the morning, fists hitting floor, yelling, I'm not going. Yeah. I can see that. Tony Blair is supposedly on the Board of Peace, but no, I'm not sure. Can anyone confirm that? He's supposed to be. Ungoliant, says Band of Hapjos. Yes, but that was... Oh, there you go. Mayron. There you go. One Angry Pagan knows. One Angry Pagan.
There you go.
Steeped in Tolkien lore. I like this. I like this One Angry Pagan. Maybe we should do a quiz for One Angry Pagan. But yeah, there you go. The Board of Peace Committee, Trump, Putin, Lukashenko, Orban, John Un. Sounds like a new axis of evil to me. And the Davinator wants to know if Sauron's name, before it was Sauron, was Susan. It actually was. Imagine.
It was Susan. My name was Susan.
It was Susan. This is Sauron. You might have known him when his name was Debbie.
Yep.
Blair is looking more and more like that 1997 Tory demon Blair poster as the years go on, says Leon. Yes. Yes, I couldn't agree more. And then you go. There you go. After he fell under Morgoth's sway, the Sindarin elves, also called Sauron, Gothor, Mordor! Sorry, we're supposed to be talking politics. God, I'm easily distracted. I've got ADHD, you know. Did I tell you that?
Sorry.
Have I told you got ADHD?
Speaking of Mordor, news from North Korea.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. Kim Jong Un's just fired his vice premier.
Ooh.
So this is because there's a big conference coming up. So this is like their State of the Union style thing they have, and I think that they are trying basically to look like things are good and things are going, quite all right. Because one of the big questions I think we that a lot of people are still unsure. How did COVID affect North Korea? We still do not know. All we know that, again, according to North Korean officials, this was apparently cured by the tear of Kim Il Sung coming down from heaven. Again, weird way to cure a COVID, but
yeah,
that's what they propaganda claims.
Kim Jong Un is a fucking weird character. So apparently he fired Yang, the
out of a cannon,
senior official, out of a cannon, on the spot, adding that Kim considered the vice premier as unfit to be entrusted with heavy duties. Put simply, it was like hitching a cart to a goat. An accidental mistake in our cadre appointment process. Kim was quoted in the news report as saying, "After all, it's an ox that pulls a cart, not a goat." Just to confirm, in case you thought that hang on, what's wrong with a goat pulling the cart? Yeah. Well, you see, because it's normally an ox. That's like me when I have to explain a joke. It doesn't work. He's a fucking weird fucking fish, isn't he? Dangerous. Very dangerous. But yeah, apparently this was because of incompetent party members for delays.
Oh, shocking. An authoritarian government having incompetent members.
Yeah, but they don't want competent people because they become a threat. This happens all the time, doesn't it? They don't want competent people. They want incompetent people. Because otherwise, you're in trouble. Because
just look at the reform councils.
Oh, yeah. I'm like everyone around Trump at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, those clowns make Marco Rubio look competent. I mean, you got to work extra hard to do that, haven't you? Really?
I still don't understand. I still don't understand why Rubio decided to join with Trump. He was I honestly hoped, like right at the start of all this, I honestly hoped Rubio might be the adult in the room when it came to like foreign policy in the US, but no, it's not turned out that way at all.
Yeah. Something else we need to talk about today in terms of global news. Chinese embassy in the old Royal Mint.
Yes, we are. Yeah,
turned up and gone. This place looks mint.
Hey.
They're taking it over. Because at the moment they've got 7. They've got like 7 bloody embassies, or what are they called? Little ones, consulates around London. So they're just putting them all together in one place. But there's like parts of the plans that are like secret, probably torture chambers. I don't know. And also the historic Royal Mint, which is still going to be open to the public to go and see the old mint, is going to have like Chinese guards. So if you're from Hong Kong, or you're from...
You might get... I won't be going to see the Royal Mints anytime soon.
Yeah.
At least the old Royal Mints.
If you're from, what's it called, in the very northwest of the country, the Shenyang, you're not going to be... You're not going to be going.
I would probably not be going there if you were... I wouldn't be surprised if you got a message if you were, shall we say, a US official in any sort of serious capacity going to that place as well, because you might, suddenly find that your phone is suddenly like at half battery, and start wondering, why is it half battery? Because they've just put a bug on your phone for it. So yeah, I would not be too surprised, but it's, to me, I think this has been another maybe storm in a teacup. I mean, they are right, they do have like very, very big embassies.
It's going to be the biggest Chinese embassy in the whole of Europe.
Of Europe. I think they wanted this to be like their big, showpiece in a way. I think they were betting on the UK maybe becoming a bigger player outside of Brexit, by the sounds of this, when all this sort of went down, but it hasn't sort of worked out that way by the sounds of it.
So this whole process started under the Tories, as most of the things that the Tories are now complaining about.
Yep. How dare this? Who did this? Oh, you did.
I mean, there's been reassurances from spy chiefs, but the way it was reported today on the news, it was kind of like, but the spy chiefs can't be confident that no terrorist bad things will happen. It's like, well, You ask
You
someone,
can't.
yeah,
You
I
can't ever
know.
be, you know.
It's like when there's a hurricane and they go, is this because of climate change? And the scientists are standing there going, well, I can't really say that it's 100%. Oh, yeah, you can't really say, can
Yeah,
you?
ask any engineer, anyone who has an engineer friend, ask them with like, try and ask them to give. Can you give a 100% assurity to something? And they'll be like, tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You were talking about the China's birth rate, right? It's gone down. It's gone down by another 17%. Bloody hell.
Yep.
Bloody hell. Because this is the knock-on effect, isn't it, of having the one-child policy through the 80s and 90s. Now, those lads who were born then not hooking up with anyone, and so there's not another generation coming up. Japan's prime minister's called a snap election. She's very high.
Yes, this will be interesting.
Polls at the moment. Takashi, she's a bit Thatcherite, isn't she? She's a bit of a Thatcher.
Yeah, for those of you who may remember this, we talked about this because they had one of the biggest political scandals ever in Japan, which at the time, with loads of like embezzlement. You know, one guy was bringing over his mistress, who was a jazz musician in Canada, to come and funnel money into this stuff. So yeah, very weird story, but their get out clause was right. We're going to change leader. We're going to change leadership. How effective that leadership change has been is we'll see. But then obviously they've put this person, and she is sort of Japan's very first ever female politician. So
female prime minister.
Female prime minister, yeah.
They've had loads of female politicians.
Yeah, female prime minister. So this will be interesting to see what happens in the polls, because there is still a bit of resentment against the party, the Democratic. I want to say the DUP, but it's not. I can't remember what the acronym is they call it now in Japan. But there is maybe a bit of resentment about all that still going on. So there might be a potential. Maybe they might lose power. Maybe they'll have to go into coalition with another party. But as you've said, she is riding high in the polls at the moment. So there is a possibility that they might maintain their grip on power. Who knows? It could be very interesting to see what goes down on that one.
The shadow knows. Okay, Brad W, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. If Musk buys Ryanair, he'll need to add a in front.
Yeah, so this was weird. Is he actually gonna? This is what he's buying about.
He threatened to buy Ryanair and put a guy called Ryan in charge. It was a shit joke because he's a sad man. He's a sad, lonely man.
Is he going to get forced into buying this like he did with Twitter?
Yes. Oh God, I hope not. Fucking hell.
That'll be.
Tim Ballum, thank you very much.
I would never take a Ryanair flight again, considering what's happened to Twitter.
I'm gonna get this. Tim, here you go. Super chat, thank you. I carry a Ray Hunter, and the number of places where your mobile phones are told to degrade the security is massive. And also Martin Harrow, £2 super chat. Thank you very much. I was late again. Yay for Diz though, because Tim, whether consciously or not, has activated the confetti. 3, 2, 1, confetti! Yay, we hit the target! Woo! But yeah, sorry, where were we? What were we talking about? The embassy, Trump, Davos.
Yeah, Japan, I believe, Prime Minister.
Japan, new PM. No, the old. Well, she's been there for a year.
Yeah,
she's not
new oldish. Yeah, PM.
No, 3 months ago. I was going to say it's not even a year, is it? It's 3 months ago. It feels like a fucking year.
She hasn't been in long.
Yeah, 3 months.
She has really
saying,
not been
let's have an election. Which is fair enough. But yeah, she is riding high in the polls at the moment, which is good, which is nice for her, I guess. But yeah, I wish she was a little less Thatchery. And then what else has been going on around the world?
Marine Le Pen's trial has started.
How did you know I was going to say Marine Le Pen then? That was so weird. Mate, we're just tuned in. We're just tuned in with each other.
Yeah, Marie Le Pen's trial has started. This could be very interesting, because if she's obviously found guilty, then I believe for like 10 years she's not allowed to run like for any political position in France for like the next 10 years, if not banned permanently. I think.
Excellent.
I think depending on like I think severity or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for her, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
In fact, there is yeah, she's
You
apparently
think this is
claimed
going
that
to go
her
down?
party had no system to misuse EU funds. So her party was like, "What do you mean we misused EU funds? My party didn't even have a system to misuse EU funds. How can I appropriate funds when my party has no such system to appropriate funds?" This is like Farage's honor code. Did you take money from the Russians? No.
No.
Excellent. Carry on. So yeah, this trial vote is
Put your
not
hands up if
looking
you're
good.
not a Nazi.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do that very well because you couldn't. I got cut off of the camera. Put your hands up if you're not a Nazi. I mean, there you go. That was a joke. That was a shit joke. Anyway, but yeah, I hope she goes down forever and ever and ever. But like the most important thing is that she can't stand because I can't stand her. So it's only fair. Fucking hell. I'm looking at the moment on this. I know we keep talking about this border peace. My God, an imperial court. It's just described as an imperial court.
This is
fucking mad, isn't it?
I don't know whether this is going to like all fall apart or what, but it's just insane. And the fact that they want it to be like a replacement to like the UN.
Yeah.
It's yeah, kind of weird because then what does consider the fact that they have you know the US has like the base of the UN in New York and has been like there for years. What do you do then about that? What are you just going to walk out of the UN? Is the US going to withdraw from the UN?
Yeah.
That to me would be a worse
dig down into it. It's fucking crazy. Okay, so basically that $1 billion thing, that's if you want to stay a member for life. A life membership is 1 billion. I don't know if that's the life of the person or the life of the country. I don't know. But the 1 billion's got to be paid in cash. In fucking cash. I mean, what the fuck is going on? I just want to
just pay that 1 billion in unmarked bills.
These people who voted for Trump, they're like, yeah, that's like, normal.
Yeah. Please deposit your $1 million $1 million in unmarked bills behind this particular toilet stall in Washington DC.
Cool and normal. Right, and here you go. So Trump's going to be the chairman, who's going to be life himself, right? He's life himself. He's going to be he's chairman for life, right? Yeah. He's the only person mentioned by name in the charter that's been drawn up. All other members are selected by him and can be terminated by him. The chairman, who is mentioned 35 times in the document, can choose when the board meets and what it discusses, and he can issue resolutions off his own bat.
No.
I mean, we complain about the 5 permanent members of the Security Council in the United Nations, which is the UK, France, the USA, Russia, and China. We complain about that because they've got power of veto over anything that the UN wants to do. This is like taking that concept and making it even more unjust. Yep. So not only is these decisions on life and death for people all over the world only going to be made by Trump and his mates, you need $1 billion to join. So that's all small. Well, countries that have only got $1 billion GDP a year or less. Like some little tiny islands in the Pacific or something. It's just, oh my God. That is fucking crazy. That is mind blowing. And the charter, nothing to say about Gaza. The board will oversee a general executive board, the Gaza executive board, and beneath that, a national committee for the administration of Gaza, the highest level in which Palestinians are permitted themselves to participate.
Yeah, this is going to be weird. This is going to be so weird. But if after the next election, Trump, would kindly, just go away and just, sits on his board of peace and just makes resolutions, and then pretends that these resolutions are happening and, gets to, play, peacemaker, then, let him go and do it. Just, just go off into the sunset, playing with your little board of peace.
Actually, yeah. It'd be like that Star Trek episode where they trick Moriarty to live forever in his own little video game in the box. If you've seen Star Trek Next Generation, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. That's okay. You don't need to know. Ooh, we got another super chat before we talk about our final topic of the night. Enterprise. We talk about Star Trek, and then Enterprise drops in a super chat. What are the chances? It's very coinky dinky, mate. You only need 2 coincidences, and you got yourself a religion. True Mipis scammer, and Trump is a scammer and simple. Isn't that revenue from the once board supposed to go to a Qatari bank? Yes, Enterprise. It absolutely is. Sorry, I didn't even get to that. So you've got to pay this $1 billion in cash, and it goes to a bank in Qatar.
Oh, well. Money. What's that money going to do?
I don't even know what the fuck. Seriously. And all these Trump fans are like, yeah, cool and normal. Anyway, before we go, we need to talk about Brooklyn Beckham because it's gone nuclear, mate. It's gone nuclear.
Oh,
it went nuclear.
What has gone on this? I don't follow this. What has gone on?
How can you not follow this? I thought you kept the breast of world news. It's on the front cover of all the newspapers today. Not Trump's threats to invade fucking Greenland. No, not that. Not so. No.
Oh.
Brooklyn Beckham has publicly fallen out with his mum and dad.
Oh, okay.
He said, I hate you and I never want to see you again. And then he slammed the door shut and he walked off. That was it. Fun times.
Okay.
Apparently his mum danced with him inappropriately at a disco. I think it was his wedding. His mum danced inappropriately on him. She must have laid down on the ground. I need to see the video. I'm sorry. I need to see the video because if you ever were a fan of the Spice Girls, you know that Victoria was never the best dancer of the troupe. She just wasn't, right? She was okay. She had a bit of rhythm, but she wasn't the best dancer. So how was she? I just want to know how that went down. Apparently his mother danced on him for the first dance at his wedding, and he's never forgiven her. Ollie's just like glazed over. He's like, why would anyone give a fuck? We're talking about World War III here, Graham, and you're talking about someone dancing at the fucking wedding. Yeah. Welcome to 2026, people. Strap in. It's going to be quite the ride. Anyway.
Something Beckham,
Anyway, right. Well, listen, we better go. We are going to, because we love you, we're going to throw you over to gently dance you over in a non-problematic way over to Maximilian Robespierre's channel. He's just starting his live show about now. I think he started a minute ago, so better get going. So just all that's left for me to do is to thank my wonderful co-host, Ollie Bowler Hatman, who you can find by looking up at Bowler Hatman here on the YouTubes, and the link for him is in the actual title. It's in the title. But before you go, give us a like, because we like a like on this channel, and it doesn't cost anything. And if you give us a like, you'll have good luck for the rest of the year. Good luck with that. Anyway, so I'm going to head off now. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, bright and early, for Morning Brew. And until then, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.